In this one, we have an awesome day spearfishing for big snapper off the oil platforms out of the Panga. Tag along, we get into some mega red snapper. They are fired up, charging up out of the murk like clockwork. It's a blast. Hopefully y'all enjoy it. And if you do, remember, hit that like button. It helps the channel out a bunch on the YouTube. And with that said, before we get out there, this video is sponsored by Navilis Apparel, my favorite bamboo performance clothes. You'll see me wearing this stuff all the time when I don't have a wetsuit on. I'm rocking it right now. This stuff is super soft and comfortable and fits amazing. If you guys are interested in checking them out, I'm gonna have Navilis linked down in the description box below. And I also have a discount code Braden where you can get 15% off your order. You ready?
Born ready.
All right, welcome back. My name is bradensherron if you guys are new here. And as you can see, we're ready to rock and roll. Got the wetsuits on. We are going to be spearfishing today in some mean green water for red snapper and mangrove snapper. It's not snapper season yet in federal water, but it is in state water, and that's where we're at right now. So gonna hopefully get into those and just make a day of it. Don't have a big plan. I lost my big double roller last trip, unfortunately, so I've just got this 120 double band, so we're not gonna be doing any crazy stuff until at least I get a new big gun. So yeah, that's the game plan. Hunt some snapper, might punch out deep to some federal water and look for some cobia, but other than that, stay tuned. Should be good, should be a lot of fish. It's gonna be a really cool mean green. So yeah, let's get in the water. All right, here we go. Gonna be breaking down the diving for this trip. But real quick, just wanted to reiterate what I mentioned in the boat. I decided to wait to send it back out deep until I get a new big gun set up and am re-rigged for the case we come across a big cubera. That way I'm set up right and just ready for any scenario that could come about where extra punch and range is needed. Even for those African pompano, this gun here's bands are on their last leg, so I'm not the most confident in it, and not to mention I'm out my belt reel as well, so would hate to need that and end up losing more gear or another gun. So just gonna stick within the means today here, shallower, where we ought to be able to handle with what we've got and make a chill, fun day out of diving for snapper. Should be good. So here at the first spot, checking primarily for red snapper, but we don't end up seeing any, and we can't see that well, so decide to keep it moving. Hit a bigger rig here for the second spot.
Hammer mangroves.
Where I know at least we'll find these big mangroves. But there's a lot here, and there's not going to be any shortage of opportunity, so no need to rush shooting. I'm going to dive through, check out the rig here first, see if there could be anything else hanging around here that is good and that's more elusive. Don't want to possibly spook that or not be ready. Also, on this dive here, I wanted to get a shot of these mangroves all balled up. A lot of the time when you first jump in the water, they'll be all schooled up and shallow. Pretty tame seeming, so it's cool to see. Just wanted to enjoy checking it out. After a couple dives, the majority of them will scatter out and start to lose interest, go down deeper. Or if you start shooting. But anyways, after that, I worked my way over here to this far side of the rig now. And I actually spot a red snapper just hanging real shallow right down just 30 feet beneath me. And I don't pass up opportunities on those, so I get ready to dive and make a mellow drop down for it. Angle a bit off to the side, not go directly at it as it seems less threatening. And then I notice the fish starts to come check me out. Let it rip and stone it. Nice easy shot. I thought this was really unusual. I don't typically ever see them hanging up this shallow, just sitting there like this. If they do come up shallow, they'll charge up and usually go right back down. By the way the fish was acting and just kind of by the way it looks, it almost seems like it was not feeling too good. Looks pretty hungry. I don't know. But got a red snapper. I always shoot these when the opportunity arises. They're not swimming around everywhere like those mangroves are here, so take advantage of it. I also really enjoy hunting them because they're usually more of a challenge. You typically have to dive deeper for them and they'll get quite a bit bigger. Not in this case here, but overall just more exciting when there's mangroves swimming around everywhere up shallow. It doesn't get me as pumped up. Just trying to
skinny red snapper.
Get the reds.
Almost looks kind of sick. Like if you look at the size of its head compared with the rest of its body. Crazy. I mean, it's still a good snapper, but pretty thin.
So after diving around a bit, checking things out, and getting that red snapper, I decided to set the gun down and pick up the new big underwater camera and get some better shots of everything hanging around and the scenery for a bit. Lots of sheep's head, spadefish. Here are some look downs. There are some juvenile red snapper. There goes a rockine grouper. There's a nice mangrove snapper. More out in the distance. Fish just all over the place. There was also a ton of Jack Crevalle just swarming this day. Here I follow Fisher down on a dive. He decides to go for one of those bigger mangroves now. He posts up here at this big horizontal section, around 30 feet, and just waits to see if one of those bigger ones swims in. This is how I prefer to go about these mangroves. After that initial interest they showed and you get in the water, they tend to keep more of a distance from you unless you go down and just post up. Then they'll get curious and come to you. So just setting up calm and nonchalant, or just working real slow is the way to go. But on this dive, Fisher didn't see a standout he was looking for. Those little bit bigger ones got a bit shy over in this area, so he holds out, waiting for one of those.
Let's go to that corner. Maybe there'll be a big school of tame ones.
So Fisher drops down over here at this corner. This is his fourth dive. And he's got a bunch of good new curious mangroves to choose from down below him. And posting up here was perfect. There was no need to go any deeper for a mangrove. There was plenty of big ones swimming through here to choose from. Down deeper, it's just extra unnecessary hassle, and it just gets darker and murkier. You could just about shoot to the murk from here. So, and Fisher finally sees one he likes, lines it up, and lets it rip. And then he grabs that line to prevent the fish from pulling reel line out and swimming down and getting wrapped up. And he is able to keep it clear and swims it up. Solid mangrove. And now I'm just going to let the big camera footage roll for a bit. All right, so after diving that bigger rig for a bit, filming those bigger mangroves, we decided before we put any more meat in the box by shooting more mangroves that we want to go look for some big red snapper first. See if we can get into that. And that is what we are doing here. Spot number 3, first dive. Name of the game here for these reds is just coast down, see if there's one hanging, or we'll come up out of the murk to check you out. And we have one do it. Let it rip. Fish gets hung for a second. I swim around to see if I can get it to work out. And it does. Start swimming it up. The black band on my gun actually broke as well, so I shot that with one band. And you'll see here in a second, I'm wondering what in the world is going on with my shot. My slip tip is not deployed right.
What the heck? Slip tip didn't work right. It's back here.
And what happened was when I shot, my shooting line got caught on that slide ring right there. So it's all funky. But we got him. Dispatching and bleeding here. And I am pumped for this. This is the kind of snapper we really get psyched about hunting for.
It's a freaking big one.
Good fish. I saw him going down. You're a little deep with nail there.
And here we got the big camera to get some underwater shots, but right away as we started, another big red snapper comes charging up. I pointed out to Fisher. He drops the camera here, tries to go get his gun real quick. It went back down, but then it comes right back up here for just long enough. And Fisher drops down and shoots it, but it rips out. Unfortunately.
That is a brute red snapper. Super tall fish, full belly, healthy. Heck yeah.
Push them all the way to that side.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I need a red.
Fisher,
I need a red.
what's the deal?
And having a lot of trouble getting the job done today.
Belly shots.
Yeah, my manhood's really on the line. I got to get it done. I can't have any more screw-ups.
I don't know. We might punch out deeper into federal water though. I'm debating that right now. This depending on how things go, what time it is. Let me actually check, give you all a time check. We got out here a little bit later. I was waiting on some storms to pass. So we were sitting at the boat ramp a while. Started diving around 9. It's now noon, so hopefully we can go find a few more state water reds, and then maybe, just maybe, we'll punch out deeper. It kind of kicked up for a little bit, and then now it's starting to kind of simmer down, so
It should be chill like this.
may be good. The water's only gonna get cleaner out deeper, so that might be the move.
Back in the water here. We bounced to another spot. After that first snapper, we didn't see anything else, so we figured we'd hit another similar rig, and I decided to follow Fisher down with the big lens now, see if he can get some redemption and get a third person angle of it as well, whacking one of these big reds. And he has 3 hammers
swim right up. Lines this one up over the top of the head and just domes it. Here was my perspective. And that is just awesome to watch. Doesn't get old. Hammer, red snapper in the green haze. And this camera shows you how it actually looked to us. So, pretty wild experience.
That's how it's done, old son. Unicorned him, bro. Right through the top of the head, put him to sleep.
Hold it up out of the water real quick.
God, it's a stud.
All right, so at this point, it seems like these snapper are on. They're fired up. So Fisher and I actually just decide to trade off on the gun and have the other guy follow down on the big camera and film. So I'm now up to bat, actually using his gun since the band on mine broke. It actually broke down the middle. I couldn't even fix it. And it just seemed easier to trade off using his. He's got full power on his as well. So that is what we're going to be doing. When it seems like these snapper are fired up, there's going to be plenty of opportunity. I love to have one guy film the dives. Gives you a good perspective. Much better to watch. Video just comes out way better. And I'm just getting nice and relaxed here, trying to calm down, slow my breathing, and just float. Once I'm ready, I'll tuck and make my dive. Just cruise down nice and easy. Once I get negative, I'll just coast and look around here for one to come up from the murk. And here Fisher actually spots it first, points it out, and I let it rip. Came in back behind me there. Grab the line to keep it from peeling line out, and I swim it up. And then to bring the fish up, I just let go of the gun, let it float back behind me, and as I pull, let that line feed straight back so it doesn't get all jumbled up. Keeps everything cleared in case that fish runs, or in the case, say, a shark comes up and grabs it, we secure it. And here's a recap from my point of view. Dude, tank snappers.
That's number 3 for you, isn't it?
Yep, I got one more. I wasn't even gonna shoot more red snapper, but today is so good for it, you know, I might as well take advantage. There's not every day that we have big red snapper actually come up out of the murk. So like,
I knew that one would still be there, dude.
for us to be able to take advantage of it. Tank. So we jump back in to take another look. Fisher's at bat now, and another big red snapper comes charging up. He's still getting relaxed, so he waits. And then here is his dive. But it went back down, and we don't see it here. This is one of the few dives at this point, though, that we actually didn't get a snapper. It got to the point that it was just clockwork. Every dive, just about. We'd shoot a snapper or two at each spot, and then we'd move and repeat. But then the snapper ended up actually coming back up, and Fisher makes a quick drop and shoots it. Fights it all the way up to keep it from tangling down in that murk. And by the way, we are very comfortable doing this where we're both diving. We're staying well within our limits. We both have been diving together forever. We know what to expect. And we're still watching each other throughout. I can help him down while we're on a dive, and then when we get to the surface, we're looking at each other as well. So yeah, another stud snapper. They were just fired up. Had quite a few come charging up. This one actually chased another snapper, a smaller snapper, up. Another hammer. Tank. He came charging up after that little red snapper or that little mangrove.
Dropped right over the top of him, and he kind of looked up like, oh no.
He did not care about
Caught
us.
it right through the top of the head, and right out the cheek, the way he was kind of angled.
I was worried that angle was going to rip out, but
I
you
was
got
like,
it.
man, he tears off. It's going to be so sad. But no, we got him. Solid
What is
finish.
that one for you?
It's number 2.
Not every day we get to do this, so.
It'll be blowing 30 by next week, I'm sure, by some point.
That's another thing. If you guys are new here, down here in the Gulf, Texas, even Louisiana, we don't get to dive year round, say in your South Florida. So most of our diving's a couple months in the summer. We'll get some trips early spring, fall, but
Here, hand me that camera.
this kind of trip is like this kind of day is like maybe once a year. You maybe get it 2-3 times, but that's it. So limits 4 per person here in state water also. So we good. We'll have the meats and we will be eating very good. Red snapper, some of the best. It's the staple of the Gulf. Initially, I wasn't planning on shooting 4 red snapper, but decided, heck, it is not like this often, so let's take advantage of it. So here I'm getting ready to go for my 4th and final snapper of the day. That'll make a limit. And at that, I'm just gonna let the rest of the diving roll out for this one and let it run raw. Enjoy.
That's a stud. That's a freaking stud.
Down in the murk, dude.
Dude, I couldn't even see it. I was like about to turn up right when he got. I thought he got tangled up.
He did for a sec.
Dude, Braden. I was looking to do this the whole time I filmed that. You're gonna
Oh, baby.
Look at that. Yes, sir. Hold on, don't put a hole in the bag.
In the murk, dude.
That's a stud. That might be the biggest one today. I didn't even see the shot.
I think I saw one on my descent and it disappeared. But then I just kept coasting down. And this one's kind of appeared out of that murk and took that downward shot on it. Wow.
That's a tank.
I don't know what to say about that.
That's a tank.
He wouldn't move. I was like, all
I
right.
was right over your back.
I'm gonna shoot the other one too.
There's another?
Yeah.
Nice.
He's just as big.
Here, let's just go get the pathos. Throw that in the boat. Just throw it all in the boat and grab another gun. He's just beyond visibility, just dive. That's how you end the limit. That's money, dude. That's some high quality fun right there. Very. Woo! Good stuff. Good day.
Well, that is some high quality fun right there. Just finished the diving. State water, red snapper. These are Fisher's last two. Camera doesn't do it justice, but they are hammers, and we got the rest on ice. I'm gonna call it right here. This is gonna be the best snapper day we have all year. There's not gonna be another day like it as far as size and as many as we're getting. And it's just super cool that we're able to film it on the big lanes too. So hopefully that all comes out good. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. We had a blast. Red snapper diving is super, super fun. Don't have much else to say. We're gonna run back. We got a storm over here that we might have to kind of swing around, but other than that, really, really fun day. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Probably gonna whip up something. I'm thinking red snapper tacos with some of these, and then we're gonna vacuum seal the rest. I'm ready to eat.
Yeah. Oh gosh, who killed those?
Well, we're sitting here trying to dig this spear out. It's stuck in the opposite cheek. And look what is popping out.
People hate on shooting them in the stomach, but we never have this issue when we shoot them in the stomach.
That's the bait we've been seeing all day.
Hardtail, isn't it?
Let's feed someone else.
Feed it back to them.
Check them out. These are megas. Probably gonna get some length measurements for sure on those. Might have to weigh them. Looking healthy. Check out the size of the throats. All right, it is time to cook the fish up. We got the snapper here. We're gonna be doing the snapper tacos, as I said, with those. And also, we're just gonna be doing a little smorgasbord. I've got some cobia, as well as some African pompano from the previous trip. And we're gonna be trying out some different seasoning samples. I've got seasoning in the works. We've got one type here, a different on the cobia, another one on this cobia, and then we're trying out some others on the African pompano. So really excited for it. Other than that, we've got apple, onion, lemon, cilantro, and butter on top. And I'm just gonna eyeball it. Got it on the charcoal grill. And I'll keep you guys posted on how it comes out. All right, it looks like the African pompano is finished. It was a lot thinner than the other fish, so we're gonna get that off. Make sure that doesn't overcook. African pompano is great to eat just straight sashimi. Eat that raw right away. We had a bunch like that. But we're gonna cook up this one right here. So there's the AP. Snapper and cobia is getting there. I threw this one on after, so that's gonna take a little longer. All right, so the grill is taking a little longer, cool down quite a bit. So I'm actually gonna eat or try some of this African pompano here first while it's hot. That is fire. As expected, but the seasoning, I really like. That's a keeper right there. We just dialed the seasoning in. Now I'm gonna try another seasoning here. Really good. African pompano, A+, as expected. Always good. Throw a little bit of the cooked apple on there. Onion. Apple's actually starting to caramelize. It's really sweet. And that right there is delicious. If you've never put apple or even onion on your fish when you're cooking it, you gotta try it. It's so good. Adds a bunch of juiciness. That cilantro on there too. And real quick, while the rest of the fish is cooking, I wanted to remind y'all today's video is sponsored by Navlis Apparel. So again, I'd really appreciate if y'all went down in the description and checked them out. I got their website there. This is actually the shirt I was wearing out on the boat. It's the Castaway Bamboo hoodie. I love it, as well as all of the other stuff I've tried from them. They even have shorts. Again, they're just extremely soft and comfortable, and the fit is amazing. So highly recommend it. And also, don't forget, I have a discount code for y'all where I can get money off your order. And there you go. Got a little lunch made with some red snapper tacos and a side of a couple bites of African pompano and cobia. Looks delicious. Already tried the AP. That was really good. Let's give cobia a try. I think that seasoning is dialed. Really good. Cobia is always amazing. But in this one, we got the red snapper, so here goes for that. Snapper taco. I've never done them quite like this with the apple, cilantro. Also, these aren't on hard shells. These are flour tortillas, so here we go. The apple, as well as the onions being in there, being caramelized, makes that so good. Adds a little sweetness to the fish. If you've never tried this is the first time I've tried this, I would definitely do it. This is awesome.